Hey guys, and welcome back to the Tuesday stream. We're back playing a little bit of Kerbal Space program, and I'm going to start a new campaign, difficulty normal campaign. Let's go station building. That's all I want to do today. We're going to find out whether this game is actually more stable than it's been in the past couple of months or so. 5 months, I hear. 5 months. Twitchington Technology. Jeez, yes. I mean, you know what? That who cares about spelling? Spelling is for people that care about what they look like from the outside. I mean, that's not me. That is not me. Let's set those for agency colors. Hey, SRWB, how you doing? Oh, welcome. I hope you're doing good. I love that. Let's use that. Let's go for it. Start that campaign. Today, we're going to be talking about 2 bits of science news that maybe I'm a little bit behind of. Maybe a week or two. I should have probably talked about this a couple of weeks ago. But I've got to be honest with you. It's taken me a couple of weeks to digest the news properly and know enough about what's going on for me to come and talk to you and be able to answer any questions. The 2 pieces of big news are the gravitational wave background. There's a buzzing noise in the universe and we can only hear it if we look in certain ways, and I'll tell you all about that. And another one is like neutrinos. They're tiny little massless particles, no electric charge, don't really interact with nuclear material in any way. They barely touch anything, and somehow we've used them to make a map of the galaxy. But, you know, I think we're going to start playing the computer game first. That might be the winner. Hey, SRWB, as I have said, and hello, the video watchers. How you doing? The game has received an update or 2 since we last played, and it looks like it's taken a while to upgrade. You didn't know that? That's cool. I'm going to try and break us down with both of those pieces of news from the very, I was going to say ground up, but guess you forgot to turn page off. Okay, you know what? This is fine. We can just like go our way through all of this and make it work. So I presume the majority of people out there at least have heard about gravitational waves. I hate that it does this. It's giving me all of these fancy favorites and stuff like that. Happy building, thank you very much. We're gonna make ourselves a small space station. That's not what. How do I stop them being favorites? There's a way. Middle click. We're gonna get rid of all of the favorites. Hello, hey Richard Jackson, how you doing? Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. We're gonna see if we can make ourselves. I'm just gonna start with a simple space station. Let's just start with that. And also, while we're starting, let's talk about gravitational waves. I'm sure most of you have heard about gravitational waves. It helps if you think roughly about the universe as filled with liquid. It really does. And then anything big in the universe comes along and it moves, and then there's like a ripple of space-time behind it, right? You know, that's just something that happens. You think of boats on water. When a boat goes through the water, you see the little wake come out behind it, and it leaves a ripple, and that ripple will wash out all the way across the lake. You could imagine that, right? You can imagine that even if as it spreads further and the wave gets smaller, you can imagine that it will. Wait, where's the payloads and stuff like this? This is what we're looking for. You can imagine the waves will stay there. I've forgotten where the there we go, the docking clamps are in this place. Oh my gosh, how long has it been? It's literally only been a couple of weeks. Like, that's it. We just spent 2 weeks playing some Oxygen Not Included and that Duskers. I actually really enjoyed that. It was I could definitely tell that it was a bit slow for stream, but I really enjoyed it as a game. I've gone and played a little bit on my own, and it was pretty good. That's a bit big. I don't think we need to make anything that big. So yeah, these gravitational waves, they exist in the universe, and you've probably heard about LIGO, the big laser thing that they're out there. But you can imagine that the waves come in lots of different sizes. Right? You've got big waves, you've got little waves. The little waves, you know, on galaxy scale, the little waves are the ones we've been able to pick up using the lasers, right? Using LIGO. This is to be expected. You know, we are tiny, small creatures ourselves. We are but dust motes on the infinite reality that we exist in. We look out there, we see scary big things. We wonder what's going on out there, and we are nothing but the waste processes of everything going on, right? But we can look out, we can figure out stuff that's going on. So as I say, we've been picking up tiny waves from these black holes that spin around each other. But despite the fact that we've been listening for quite some time, we only get these ones in the mass range of, what is it, 10 to 100 masses of the sun, something like that. It might be much wider than that. Citation very much needed on that. I would need to go and look it up again, and I'm afraid I did not do that ahead of time. I didn't think I would find myself in this particular conversation. So the size that we pick up are quite small black holes, the smallish black holes. Because the waves they make are quite small and we can pick them up with lasers. But you can imagine that there are huge things. Inside of galaxies, there are black holes with billions of times the size of the sun. You know, like, we're talking about how we are tiny compared to the universe. Almost the same scale. The sun is tiny compared to these black holes, right? So one of the announcements was that they've been looking out across pulsars. I don't know. Do you guys know what pulsars are? This one might take some setup, so settle in for what a pulsar is. I'm also trying to find something that fits quite nicely on top of this. I want a double booster for some reason. I don't know. We're just going to launch this with a double booster. This is what I'm looking for here. So pulsars are dead stars. They're neutron stars, right? The clocks, very much the clocks. So our sun won't do this. Our sun will become something called a white dwarf because it's too small. But if you get up to 8-9 times the mass of the sun, I can't remember exactly what the size is, but it's somewhere about there. The fact that, like I said, this is going to take some setup. So atoms, they're made out of essentially protons and electrons, right? There's neutrons in there as well, but all we need to remember is there's protons and electrons, and they push apart from each other like magnets do, and that's what will stop our sun from collapsing. Millions of years into the future, 5 million years into the future, when the sun has run out of all of its fuel, 6 million years in the future, gravity will start trying to squeeze it down again, make it a very, 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 very small object, and it will keep going until it reaches a point. Yeah, I like that. It will keep going until it reaches a point where the electrons and the protons pushing against each other will be the thing holding it back. So at the moment, the sun, it's making all the light, right? The light is the thing, the heat, we're going to call it an explosion, the nuclear fusion that goes on, but let's call it an explosion, why not? Is pushing back against gravity, and that's what's stopping the sun crushing down into this white dwarf state. So that will come down. The sun will end up as a giant lump of carbon. Is this good? Is this? I'm gonna fly this. We're gonna fly this. It'll be fine. It will be fine. What could go wrong? But if it was bigger, it could push beyond that. It could crush even the protons and the electrons together, and you end up making neutrons from that. And funnily enough, this is where the term neutron star comes from, right? It's just one great big lump of they call it neutronium. It's one of the most sci-fi names we've got. It's great. I love it. Oh, I don't love that. Wait. Take that off. Let's put that. There we go. Yes, styling, my friends. Styling. Hey, Tremaine, how you doing? So these neutron stars, you can imagine, like, everything in the universe rotates. Everything spins. Like, if you're sat on a swirly chair, if you're sat on a spinny chair, just start spinning around, and you are one with the universe at that point. Everything spins around. But much like, I'm sure you've seen if you are on a spinny chair, start spinning with your arms held out, and then as you're spinning around, pull your arms in and see how much faster you go. The same thing happens with stars. When they collapse down and they get really small, they were spinning relatively slow as a star. 11 days, I think, our sun spins around. But when it gets crushed right down by gravity to like something the size of a planet or something the size of a city in the case of a neutron star, when they get crushed down that much, they go faster and faster. And these neutron stars are spinning milliseconds round in a period. Like they're hundreds of thousands of times per second they will spin round. fast enough that some of them are on the very verge of ripping themselves apart with centrifugal force. I wonder what happens if it does end up spinning too fast. There's a little future project for me to go and search up anyway. Let's see. Can we launch this thing? Is that going to make it? It tells me I've only got 415 meters per second here. What have I done wrong? This is only methane. This isn't rocket fuel. This is jet fuel. This is not rocket fuel. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? Methalox, right? No, wait, we definitely got this out of here. Can you please put this in the right place? Thank you very much. So, these things are spinning around ridiculously fast. So fast that we literally can set clocks by them, right? They're hundreds of thousands of times per second. They are more regular than many of our atomic clocks. And that is a big claim to make. We have clocks out there that we fly around in planes and stuff that will stay accurate for millions of years, right? Millions upon millions. And these neutron stars are even more so. They will go dark. I'm not sure if I want to say that because magnetic braking is a thing. I was going to say they'll go dark before they stop spinning, but I actually don't know if that's true. Anyway, so the universe is filled with these things that are counting for us, like blah, 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 millions of times per second, and we've been watching them for like 15 years, something like that. Should we just hit launch? Should we just see what happens here? Is there anything that we don't want to do, Bob? I'm just gonna fill this. We're just gonna fill this. Station Hub 1. Okay, that's good. And go. We should be able to make it to the surface. Are you ready to fly? Here are a few pages. I don't care. Let's just get out of it. I know how to fly. I know how to fly. We're going to press T. We're going to press upwards. And we're going to remember, if it's spinning so fast, maybe it turns some of the mass into an accretion disk. I mean, this was something I was just thinking about. Like, if it's spinning that fast, can it throw stuff off? And then maybe enough stuff that it doesn't become a neutron star. It actually just becomes a white dwarf with a swirling cloud of rubbish that it forms into, like, some sort of planets or something like that. I don't know. Like I say, that would be something for me to have a bit of a simulation about at some point. I think I will. Fun fact: a neutron star has such massive gravitational pull you can see the front and the back of the star. It's true. It's true. Even white dwarfs, to an extent, have this, where the gravity is so strong it's bending the light around, and you can just see all of it. If you could stand on a white dwarf, you can't. You'll be smeared out to like atoms layer thick. I'm sorry, a layer atoms thick. Whoa, that's fast. That was fast. Fast. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Someone turned the SS off. Why would I do that? Okay, this is fine. We're just going to take a moment to really lean over here. Hopefully, fly this. The fact that we've only got the stabilization only really affects a couple of directions. We could probably put more fins on there. What do you reckon? Oh, it broke. Oh, you know what? I'm happy with how that broke. That was quite an extensive amount of aerodynamic forces. I'm fine for that to have gone badly wrong there. Now the problem is we've given ourselves a bunch of Kerbals to take off on this inaugural, but more importantly, test flight. Now the test seems to have gone a little bit wrong. I'm not sure exactly how we could classify this flight, but I do notice that we are plummeting to the floor at about 150 meters per second. In fact, just in the time it's taken me to tell you that, we're now at 200 meters per second. If anybody wants to take a guess at what speed we're going to hit the floor at, I think it's going to be pretty fast. And many Kerbals were hurt in the making of this here video. Let's revert to the VAB and try that again. 235, that's nice. The price of scientific process. You playing War Thunder and forcing your pilot into G-lock. We can actually put the... I don't know about Kerbal 2. Kerbal 1 we used to be able to put our Kerbals in G-lock, which was fun. So anyway, we've got these clocks all over the universe, right? Neutron stars, they spin round, we can look at the timings, and they're super, super regular. They do it all the time. Now, imagine, if you will, you've got this thing, don't even think about it spinning, just pulsing. Poof, 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 poof. Sending out a little flash of light, whatever you want to do to imagine it. I don't care how you imagine it. Just imagine little spheres coming off it, however. I don't mind. move it towards you just a little bit as it's pulsing. You can imagine those pulses as it moves towards you get a little bit closer together, so it looks like the clock got a little faster, right? As the source of ticking gets closer to you, you can see it get a little bit faster. And if it goes away from you, the ticks will appear a little further apart because, you know, it's close to you, and then as it's moving, it will send another pulse out later, and it's not only has it got that time, but also that little bit of distance in between. It's a bit of a hard concept to get your head around, but if you think about an ambulance with the Doppler shift, it's very, very similar to that. The same process applies. Because it's coming towards, things get squished together, going apart, gets spread apart. I should probably put some... Oh, these are control surfaces, not wings. No wonder I can't fly anywhere. Let's put these down there. Let's try this. Let's try this. I kind of want to go here. And then also, no, I don't want the wing shape. Thank you very much. And then also here. Okay, I think the X-wing design might help. I hope it'll help. Should we give them a parachute? Do you think a parachute would help? Oh, excuse me. Oh, where did that come from? Okay, let's go with drogues. No, parachutes. Radial mounted parachutes. That's what we want. Because, you know, it's nice to think about safety occasionally. Safety is our number 5 priority here. We should definitely try and pay it some heed. Some heed. There we go. Okay, now if things go wrong. In effect, they're basically a lighthouse. What a great idea. Yes, a great analogy. Sorry, not idea. They are basically lighthouses. To such a high precision of degree. Because, like, the neutron stars, what we're seeing when they flash at us is there's a bunch of magnetic fields and electric fields and all sorts getting twisted up because this thing's spinning around so fast, right? And it fires this collimated beam, what's called a collimated beam, out of the top and bottom. You can just think of that like a torch, and the torch just whips round and around. You know when you spin a spinning top? I know that's an old thing, but people might have not have seen it, but if you like spin a coin or something like that, there's a point just before it falls over where the what's called the axis of rotation, the pole that goes through the spinning rod, or like the bit that looks stable in the coin, it will start like falling over, what's called precessing, and that precession is what we see. And like that pole is, I'm pointing at my finger here, this is no good for you guys, but that pole, that up and down, is the bit where it all comes like blasting out of the top here. So yeah, the lighthouse is a really, really good analogy. So they get this Doppler effect, and obviously, like, gravitational waves, they go closer on one side and further away on the other. You know, you can think of like a wave in water. It goes down, then it goes up. It's a bit more complicated in 3D space because things go down and up. They kind of come in and out, and it's a bit like a sound wave, but not quite. It's like it's a whole new type of wave that I can barely wrap my head around myself. Let's launch. Any reason not to launch? We're gonna have problems here. I feel like we could do with some solid boosters, or maybe some sort of tug. Does this need a space tug? Are we feeling space tug, or are we just going to put some tiny engines on the bottom of this? Does this have fuel? It does have a little bit of fuel. We could put tiny engines on this. That would probably work. So we've got these clocks all around the universe, right? More accurate than anything we can do, and we've got the knowledge that when waves come past, things go down and things go up, and then there's also the Doppler shift with the thing. So with the timings, so you can see that actually what's happening. We've got an experiment going on in the universe, right, where you can take the timings from all the different neutron stars around, and I'm pointing around in different directions, you know, but like all the way in different directions, right? And if you time which ones are getting faster and which ones are getting slower, you can kind of figure out how you would make some sort of simulation to try and figure out what space is doing around you. And that was the big announcement a couple of weeks ago now. Oh, I should have remembered to look up the team's name. Hold up, I need to look up here. Gravitational Background. But a team separate from LIGO and all that lot have been working on this for a very long time now, 15 years, as I said. The North American Nanohertz Observatory for Gravitational Waves is the name of the group that have been doing it. It's quite a mouthful, but there they are. Space Tug is fancy, so do that. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we will fancy the Space Tug. Okay, I can do that. Now these guys, like I say, they've been timing this stuff up for many years. Like, I don't even know who first came up with the idea. There must have been some absolute genius out there. It was probably Einstein, right? That came up with this. We want to make sure that it can talk, so we're going to put a few of those around. We need some. I think are we gonna make it a monoprop? Do you think monoprop would be the way forwards for a space tug? I mean, probably. Let's have a look. Monoprop. This one, yeah, like that. And then we basically put another one of these. Like this. Okay, that's good. That's good. And we want to have utilities, RCS. Oh, how many do you reckon we want? Something like this. Advanced controls. Can we do anything different here? No, we can't. I was kind of hoping we could have more horns, if you will. I want some more directionality, but what I'm going to do instead is to put these in the middle, and that should have us covered there. Okay, there's Space Tug as well. Space Tug and Small Hab. Ooh, we are underweight. We're underweight. I need to throw some solids on there, and then we're good. Nothing quite like adding extra layers to make this. So that was a cool little piece of news that came out. I say a cool little piece of news, man. That like this was people's lives for 15 years, right? Like this is it's one thing I always like to take a moment and think about. It's just actually how much work just went into this thing that I just casually explained in 20 minutes or so. Like it's a real serious thing. That like science takes decades and decades, but the public, I'm going to say the public, I hope you don't take offense from that, only really hear about the very end of it, right? And then you're like, well, was that worth billions? And like generally it was. There and there. Okay, should we try this? I think we try this. 3,000. I want 3,500 really, don't I? I guess we're just going to add a little bit extra on top. Where are you? You? Are you the right? Yeah, this is the right type. But that's also true for all sorts of things. Like, you know, think about video making, right? You spend weeks and weeks working on it, and then there's just one video at the end. People watch it for half hour. It was like or not. All right, great. Okay, should we try this? I don't see any reason why not. Pull that down there. Get rid of this one. I'm sure there's reasons why this will explode, but I would like. Can I even remember? Where's the struts? There we go. Lost my way around all the menus again. Okay, that's good, right? That's good. Let's launch. Should probably have saved it. Page, please, no more. We know what we're doing. I should probably just install the page be gone and be happy there. You're expecting a boom. Who thinks the craft will either not make it to orbit or have a rapid unscheduled? I'm expecting the rapid unscheduled disassembly at some point. Seems legit, you know. Seems legit. Can I please go away so I can click my RCS? That's a bit awkward that it wouldn't actually let me hold my course there. Okay, I think I don't want to curse this too much, but I think we're doing okay. I I think we're doing okay. We're going to lose a little bit of stability because I've pulled down on the main throttle here. We're just making our way up on solid boosters. We're going a little steep, if I'm to be honest, but that's the thing. So, of course, the real question is, how do gravitational waves really affect anybody? And, like, we don't know, right? In the same way that we didn't know what lasers were going to be able to do, in the same way that we didn't really know what we're going to be able to do with radio up until we started making use of it, right? It's one of those technologies that we kind of just be like, yeah, it's probably going to be useful at some point. Because at the moment we're just experimenting, we're just poking at it. We're just like, look at this brand, because that's the thing. This is brand new technology, like 15 years old, something like that. It's really like fresh stuff. We've never been able to see gravitational waves before, and suddenly we're like, whoa, the entire universe is humming with this stuff. And by counting the number of clicks a pulsar sends at us, we can figure out what that looks like. Like, it's crazy. Like, because we can't see gravitational waves. We have no idea. I can barely feel gravity, you know. Occasionally, maybe if I've had a few too many drinks, the gravity feels a bit stronger, you know. But like, I honestly, if I walk over a mountain, I don't go, oh, that felt heavier. Even though there's more mass there, and it made me feel 0. whatever grams heavier. Like, I can't feel that, but somehow we managed to bounce lasers back and forth over a kilometer and see if their waveforms match up at the end. So what? Excuse me? And yeah, that's why gravitational waves are great at the moment, because it's the new thing. It's shiny. I've not put any power on this. Well, I guess that's what we'll be launching next, is a small little power drone. Come up. I mean, if this was Kerbal 1, I'd just be like, no problem. We will just go ahead and immediately send an engineer up with some solar panels. I don't think we can do that right now. It's a shame. It's a shame. Alright, SRWB, it was good to see you, man. It was good to see you. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what new waves. So obviously, you know, we didn't discover light. Light is the thing that we see all the time, right? So coming up with like a timeline of how we utilize light is kind of difficult, you know, because like radio, we discovered radio in like, let's say the 40s. That's not even right. It was the 18-somethings, right? It was probably even before that. But then we found microwaves and X-rays, and along comes radiation, and we start seeing different ways of, this is not going to make it. Are we going to make it? Oh, we're so close! Forwards. Why are we not forwardsing? Control from here. Forwards, forwards, forwards. I'm pressing the forwards button. Why are we not forwardsing? Look at these. Okay. Well, okay, that's unfortunate. We need more. Give me more. Revert to VAB. Yeah, let's do that. Marconi for radio. Yeah, indeed. Well, as always, Marconi was the guy who owned the lab where the people who were doing the real work worked. But yeah, let's say Marconi. You found a VR multiplayer sword fighting game yesterday, and I'm so sore today you can barely get down the stairs. Yeah, I know, I hear that. There's nothing quite. It was like when the Wii came out, right? There was nothing quite like those full immersion games to make you go, ooh, it hurts. So I was saying we need some. I mean, I kind of struggling to come up with a reason not to put an RTG on there. RTG, radiothermal isotope generator, just like that. You know, we put some nuclear material on the outside of our craft, and yeah, great. Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, so now we've gone from looking at relatively short wavelengths, bouncing lasers around, to the longest of wavelengths from the super huge, like, think about where, I didn't even mention this, and I should have mentioned it right at the beginning. Think about where these gravitational waves are coming from. There are ginormous black holes out there, right? And some of them will end up in orbit around each other. And these things are so big; their event horizons are light years across, right? So it doesn't matter how fast they're orbiting around each other. Just from the fact that they've got to travel all of that distance means they're going to take forever to do it. And that's where these big, long wavelength gravitational waves are coming from. There's these huge behemoths going around the galaxies, like taking the best part of like 100,000 years to go round each other just once, right? Like, yeah. You used to work at Marconi a couple of decades ago. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Official secrets actor. Yeah, that's fair, mate. That's fair. So I wonder, like, when are we going to get the in-between? When are we going to get the personal gravitate? Because, like, people can buy infrared telescopes now, infrared cameras now, just like you would go out and buy an ordinary camera. I mean, back in the day, you know, like, it takes a bit of effort, but you can make it happen. So, like, when is my phone going to be able to look through the wall and tell me how many heavy things are on the other side? Yeah, there's going to be, or how many there's the motion detect. You know, in Aliens where it's like boop, 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 like that thing. When do we get that based on gravitational waves? It's moving. It's not moving. It's moving. It's not moving. That's a bit of sci-fi technology right there. If you want to be able to explain these pieces of technology in the right way, that's the one. That is the one. This had engines on it. Where are the engines that I put on here? Did we pull them off because the tug was good enough? That might have been the problem. That might have been a problem. Which one's better? This weighs a lot less and gives out 2.5 kilonewtons. This gives out 16 kilonewtons. That's, I mean, it's a lot more. It's a lot more, and it's got a cool name, so let's go for it. Like this, like that. That's cool. That's cool. I've pressed 3 instead of 2 again, and this is causing me troubles, but I think we're okay. Alignment local, so that we can get this aligned. Oh, whoa. My friend, what is it? It's because we pressed 3 and set the middle thing to the wrong thing. The root part to the wrong part. Middle thing to the wrong thing. That's really descriptive language. I'm really proud of myself for that one. So let's try and put this pointed in the right direction. I mean, it doesn't look right, does it? If I click on this, it looks like it's not quite pointing up and down. But then if I try, I bet it's because, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for that. Hey Wise, how are you doing? The build is in effect. We should be able to actually just launch this up, but for some reason I'm struggling. It's not that I'm struggling. It's that I'm talking about other things and not really paying attention to what I'm doing and getting the numbers wrong. Can we please get that up there? Is that better? Is that better? Why? How and what? Did you watch that number just go down a lot? There's no way that should have gone down. Oh, no, that's F1. I didn't want F1, I wanted number 1. Are we just going to put a little boost rocket underneath? I could just put a little boost rocket underneath, right? We haven't got much room, but we could make it happen. I don't know why it's gone down. I don't believe it. I literally do not believe it. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Wait, what is going on here? You guys seeing this? They don't like it, man. They don't like it. Like that? Is that good? I think that's fine. I know things could be very wrong here, but I think we're just going to accept it for now. I want to bring this down. Why are you saying there and nothing else? Yeah, there's nothing quite like a spacecraft that exists solely as struts. Can we delete that? Okay. Ooh, that was scary for a moment there. I was like, I've broken my game again, haven't I? This has actually broken the game. There to there. I just want to make a spaceship, man. I just want to make a spaceship. Foundation guards have placed materials in their hand and go. Ah, because for your build. Yeah, I'm all about it, mate. I'm all about it. This one, whatever happens, the guy's coming home. Turn. Bring down our thrust here. Something like that. More turn, I think, because we weren't really turning enough last time, were we? Maybe now too much. Let's see if we can't turn up. And back. And back. I missed my button. Oh, why are we turning around like that? Well, okay. Let's see what happens. We've had a breakup. Deploying parachutes. Currently moving at 1. Ooh, that felt like that should have been dangerous. Plummeting hard, plummeting fast. We've lost control. Yeah, that's how we lapped up. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Have a good time now. Have a good time. I do like the water ripple in this game. They definitely brought this along some. What? Is that enough to slow us right down? Yeah. Reminds me of the F1 trophy Lando Norris broke. I'm afraid I don't know that one, mate. I'm afraid I don't know that one. You know what I should have done, though, was increase the spread. Hey, I asked for these? Yes. Deploy settings. Oh no, it doesn't let me change it. Are we gonna crash? Oh, we're alright. We're alright. Are we still going underwater? Are we drowning? Are we about to lose some Kerbals? The numbers are going down. I don't like the numbers going down. We're minus on sea level. Where are they? There might be some troubles. Like, we're not even time accelerated right now. How are we supposed to recover this? Recover vessel. Am I going to have to come up with a different approach? I mean, my approach is not going to be all that different. Tell me there's an autosave. Yeah, my approach is not going to be all that different. But what we're going to do... Hey, that's pretty close. Is grab this and actually be like 4, you say, to there. Because if 2 didn't, they just doubled out my wings. I'm gonna take it. Because if 2 didn't work, 4 is bound to work, right? Like that's totally the way this game functions. The more parts you put in place, the more stable the game is, right? Like we've seen this in the past. It's really telling me I still can't make it. Small tea break there. Small tea break. Okay, we're away. It's going good. It's going fine. Again, I'm going to bring down my throttle to about half. I want to try and get us off of directly upright. Max 1 as usual. Yeah. Lando banged the champagne on the podium and the vase there was the trophy bounce and it fell on the floor and broke. Ooh. The thing is, like, trophies should never cost that much, you know. What are you building out of? Can we stay vertical? Well, can we at least get some control here? That's a question. I'm not really about going vertical, but I do want to just turn up a little bit. That said, if we get close to 300, 400 meters per second, kind of like that, I'm gonna press to go forwards, and we'll just see how we go. We're already at 4.5 kilometers up. We've just burnt out of our solids. Goodbye, solids. Goodbye. And away they go. Turns out there was many solids in one place there. Okay, that was interesting. That was interesting. The engine burn is fast. We must have just a flaw in our design somewhere along the line, because there ain't no way we're getting up to orbit with what I see in front of me here. We've got some engines here. This is good. That must be these ones. Okay, that's very good, very good. I don't know how much speed we're going to be able to get out of them. In fact, stop. We've gone far too far. Look at this, 190 kilometers up in the air. Is not really what I'm about. Just want to get this up in the air, and then we'll go talk about neutrinos. Weird little particles. Weird little particles. Not many people have even heard of them. One of the primary well, it used to be one of the primary candidates for dark matter. Turns out there's just not enough of them. And there's a lot of them, but there's not enough of them. Hey Paige, thanks very much for telling me about the map. Let's time warp and see what we can do from up here. Which way is the right view? This is the right view, over this way. Okay, beautiful. I like to look back over the planet so we can see what's going on. I might need to just increase the throttle a little bit. I really just want to try and get ourselves a nice circular orbit here. Looking magnificent, though. Looking absolutely magnificent. So, one of the things I did find interesting about the announcement of the gravitational background is that actually, whilst it's great that we've picked up these random waves that are going past, it is literally just a bunch of random waves. We don't know where any of this stuff came from. Look at that, orbit. We've got orbit. Oh my gosh, we've got orbit. I don't know if I even want orbit at this point. Do we want to crash these parts into the atmosphere and then use the engines on the little body in the middle to... Yeah, we're going to do that to raise it up and put it into a decent orbit. I think that's a winner there. I think that's a winner. Yeah. Putting my sci-fi hat on, and I've been trying to do this for a little while, is try and think of what technologies are going to come out of our manipulation of gravitational waves. You know, because we started with just detecting light, right? We could see it, we could record it somehow, we could put it on magnetic tape. 62. Let's just take it down to about 40. And then we started finding stuff that we could like pump electricity into to make more light. Now, I'm not saying we're going to find some magic crystal out there that if we just pump a bunch of electricity into, we're going to be able to create some gravity waves. But like, will we ever get to the point where we are creating waves? It's an interesting thought process, because I just don't see, at least under current physics, how that could happen. But you know, I'm not the expert, I'm just an expert, so okay, looking in the right direction. Can we just... Yeah, okay. Oh, they're not giving out much thrust, are they? I mean, we knew it wouldn't give out much thrust, but oh, they're not giving out much thrust, are they? 60... Okay, we're going to try to aim for, like, somewhat circular. We are at our apoapsis, so that shouldn't be a problem. And we got a lot of fuel to burn through. I wonder how much having all of this stuff... What's going past the sun? Where is the sun? Something's blocking our view. There it is. Oh, it's all those things back there. Okay, that's cool. 100, 200, that sounds like a good orbit to me. We're going to face out. Oh, excuse me. And let's... Excuse me, I had to clear my throat properly. Let's get back down to making the next little part of this this adventure here. Not revert. Let's just go to the KSC. Did something just break there? Did you guys see something just as we were moving away? It totally looked like... No. Wait. Tracking station. I want the tracking station. Why did I keep clicking the wrong thing? Tracking station. It totally looked like a whole bunch of the debris there kind of exploded. We can focus, but we can't actually watch the debris. It's one of the things that I think is the most of a shame. Which one? Oh, no, cancel. I wanna. What is this one? Just sat here, not moving, not doing anything. That's velocity 8 meters per second. Why are they not crashing to the surface? What game? You game. All right, that's fine. We can go vehicle assembly building. We'll be fine. I'm sure it will all be good. All right. So what do we want to attach to the bottom of this thing? I feel like maybe some sort of. Ooh, do we want to put the giant fuel tank on the bottom? Do we want to some sort of docking system might be the winner there? I basically just want to see whether we can dock a couple of things together and be happy. In fact, let's make a landing craft of some description. Just something small. It's got to attach to that size port. So this one I think actually will be better. Okay, so something like that. I'm going to drop a fuel tank on top. Too big. A fuel tank on top, something like that. And I don't really want to make it too much more than that, to be honest, because we're going to try. Yeah, look at that, nice. We're going to try and make this just a small little landing craft. Let's get some legs out somewhere along the line. Can we put these bad boys on here? No, we can't. Maybe these instead. 4 like that. And extend them. Let's have a look. That's a landing leg right there. That is a landing leg. I'm even going to consider moving it up a little bit further. Yeah, looks better. Do you think we got something we could round the bottom off with here? In fact, I know what we actually want there. We want to have ourselves the parachute. No, of course not. Just like an aerodynamic cap of a nose cone, something like that. Unfortunately, this size part is not going to have a nice low profile one like this. All right, the only ones it's going to fit are like, yeah, look at that. That's terrible. I don't know about you, but I don't think that's quite the look we're going for. Okay, we might have to just make do with it as it is. Maybe like an engine mount over it just to look like it's something. I don't even know if that does look like it's something. And then we want a bunch of engines. Now, the engines are going to be like relatively easy to fit in. Now, I feel like thuds for landing craft is almost mandatory. To have it looking like that. Yeah, that's cool. And then, do we need RCS? Oh yeah, we're docking. Of course, we need some RCS. We need a whole boatload of RCS if we can. That and this, and then I'm gonna basically just copy that out down below so that we have some sort of like turning authority, some twist and pitch, like so. And then we should have methane down here somewhere. Anywhere. Where are you? No, monoprop. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. And I've gone ×4, but actually what I want here is ×2. And even that is covering up stuff that I don't want to cover up. But I think that's fine. And then we'll put a docking port. That one. And you. Yeah, nice. And I don't know what to put on the bottom. I kind of feel like a fairing cover would be the winner. Why won't you let me turn it? Like that. You know what? That's probably good enough. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, let's see if we can now strap another rocket to it. I don't like this. Let's try and strap another rocket to it that we can get this up into orbit. I'm not even going to muck around. We're just going to pop that there and then build a giant single stack rocket underneath. Where are parts that I want to put on this thing? I mean, as much as I do what... Oh, we're going to do it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then you... I love this. I love this. And then put this... Oh, that's even bigger. Is even bigger the way I want to go? I don't know. I don't know if I've got even bigger engines. That's the problem. Like, yeah, it kind of looks funny, but it's not what I want. It's not what I want. You like that? Like, what's this? 5,000 delts. We're just gonna fly like that, right? Like, why would we do literally anything else? Let's put some of these around the bottom. Yeah, like that. Okay, this... Oh, 6 has suddenly taken us down to 4,000. What if we go 3? 5,000. What if we reduce the size? Doesn't affect it. Okay, a little surprised at that, actually. And the last thing I want to do, and I don't know whether this will actually make any difference or not, is put a little nose cone on top. Yeah. Okay, nice. This is Lander 1. Got a lot of ones. Valentina, brave Kerbal. We are going to Station 1, set target. We're gonna just like let that go around a little bit if we can, because of course we want to be able to set up our rendezvous pretty nicely with it. How are there still lots of parts everywhere? Hello, are you coming around? This is going to be a night to... Actually, no, we're going to try and rendezvous overnight, but it's going to be a daytime docking. I think this, if anything, that's a little late, but I think... we're away? How are we away? Okay, fine, we're away. I didn't really intend to do that. How? Why? What? Let's try and settle down our growth here, our speed. Okay, that's nice. Little interesting. I'd like to turn if I can. I can't turn. Why can't I not turn? Something. I don't know if you guys are aware, but something's gone very interesting here. Target. Maybe in a moment we'll try and point targetwards. Why can't I turn? My controls don't actually seem to be doing anything here. Other controls? Ooh, is this camera control? Wait, why have I never found arrow keys will move your camera? That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Like, we got an Apple app system. I mean, I might as well just go up until we can point at the target, right? And then we'll just stop and turn around. I guess that's it. Oh, it will let me point upwards. Valentina, are you not a proper pilot? Is that the problem here? Are we in something that doesn't count as a proper command pod? Tuner can fully functional. Control from here. Default is fine. Torque mode. Okay, I'm not sure why we're not allowed to control. Why no control? I do not understand. But okay, we're just going to go up. Are you flying a dead stick? Yeah, kind of. I'm only really going to be able to point in these directions, which should actually be fine. Because I can fly from this, but it's... Yeah, it's an interesting situation I find myself in. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking hard now. I wasn't expecting that at all. We could get these to match up here. But what I'm going to do instead is match this. Create a maneuver node, something like this. And then hopefully we can watch these two come together. Thank you, Paige. If you could not interrupt me whilst I'm planning a very important emergency maneuver here. That would be great. Okay, so I've gone too far. I know, who'd have ever thought? Okay, what's my periapsis there? 110. I'll take that for now, and we'll see what we can do about it. I would like you to go to maneuver. It's very tempting just to hit target and try and go for it. So if I remember correctly, anti-target slows us down relative to the target, right? So if it's coming anywhere near us at the time, I want to be moving at roughly the same speed, right? Watch me like scrap everything we've done beforehand. Okay. Sure would have been cool of this to carry on pointing in the right direction, but you know, that's fine. Let's try and swing this round. It's a bit awkward that it's not letting my pilot have a go. Some might say very awkward. Come on, look, point there. Oh wait, RCS. We got RCS for this reason. Oh no, my fuel! Who knew my fuel would run out? And this desperate maneuver. See if we can at least get into a proper orbit, right? My guess is no. I think we've gone too far. I want that. I still can't control. Go up more. Like click, and then thrust for a bit, and hope that works. So with the waves, is there any discernible output, e.g. phonon, so a light cell, magnetic resonance? You know what? Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know. Like I say, I was we are just at the point of being able to detect them, right? So we don't know if we can harness, like, if we can detect, can we what's the word I'm looking for? Redirect? Is that a thing that we can do? Because we can bounce light around, but we've seen shiny things forever, right? Whereas I've never seen anything that bounces gravity away, but I don't know. Yeah, the problem is the waves affect us, right? We're not detected. We're not here to be able to see. I don't know how to word this. Sorry. Let me take a moment and think about my words. We're not equipped, personally, other than us biological beings, to be able to detect gravitational waves. It's like polarization of light, right? We don't see it at all, but somehow our sunglasses can like block one thing out and stop us seeing. So will there be any output from that? I just don't know. Are we dead from this? Here's another thing that I just don't know. I feel like we want to revert to launch and try again. And hopefully I can actually control it this time. Yeah, at the moment I can only really ever like imagine us detecting it, you know, knowing that gravitational waves are there. And it's weird because are the waves actually real? Because they're just the movement of energy through the medium, right? You know, like if you look at a wave on a day, like out on the beach, right? You can't get a handful of that wave, right? You can pick up some water, you can pick up some air, right? But you can't really get the wave itself, you know? Yeah, thinking hard. Because there's the let's say the theorized particle of the graviton. The thing is, with all a lot of these particles and stuff, it's just a way of explaining a packet of energy rather than a physical thing that we call the thing. Like, there's these things called phonons, which are movement of sound particles, right? And it turns out not just to be sound particles, it's like heat packets, because heat is passed like a Mexican wave through the atoms, right? So that is also a sound phenomenon. Like weird, right? Heat is actually sound, but when the things move around, they move in such a way to kick off the electromagnetic radiation that we call light, call heat, right? It's quite weird. It's quite weird. But phonons are not real, but we can deal with them as if they were real. Yeah, it's tough. So is it this? Is this the wrong type of command pod? I don't know why it doesn't work. It looks like it should be fine. We've already taken off a set target. You'll be able to just like, yeah, no, I literally cannot control. Like, revert to VAB. Confirm revert. Yeah, I do not know what the endpoint. It sounds like a degree is required for the problem is, like, this particular knowledge, even a degree is not enough, right? Even a degree is not enough. Like, this is the very, very cutting edge. This is where people are pointing at numbers coming out of telescopes and going, what's this weird thing? You know? And then we're trying to come up with, because that like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, science is about making up crazy theories and then finding the data to fit. No, we're all just looking at this weird stuff in the universe and then trying to come up with the theories to fit it. You know, that's maybe not the best way of doing it, but it is definitely one of the ways that it's being done right now. Let's try putting that on and see if that helps at all. We could probably do with some power as well, right? Like that. I think 2's all we... No, wrong button. I think 2 might be all we need. You're not going to let me copy it out? There we go. Front and back. Great. The wow signal. Yeah. So, like, still don't know what it is. So, like, everybody in SETI, and we have to think this way because what else would we say, is looking for a repeatable signal. You know, something that they've said hello, and then 5 years later, gone hello again, right? And seeing whether there's that's happening out there. But we've done similar ourselves, right? We've sent like Arecibo messages out. What is going on with this? We've sent Arecibo messages out. We've sent radar pulses out. But the big thing that's happened each time is we've only ever sent one out, even though we ourselves would never take that as definitive proof of an intelligent signal, right? Like, it just wouldn't happen. We'd just be like, well, look at this random noise. So how do we know? How do we know that it's not like a radar beam or something like that? Need more boosters, Magfa. Anyway, who knows anything about neutrinos? I bet you don't, because I barely do. Neutrinos are these weird little critters, right? They're part of the subatomic family, right? They're tiny. They are tiny. We used to think they're actually massless, and we only really found them because when we were working through, is it beta decay? The maths of beta decay. Notice that there was this thing called a lepton number that wasn't added up. Now, leptons are things like electrons, positrons. You read the Stephen Hawking's book on I've read that when I was a teenager, and I'll be honest, it wasn't easy going, but I'm glad I did. It's unfortunate Alien's first view of us moving TV signals for an unpleasant... Yeah, the problem is, like... TV signals, especially the early ones, are moving out from us as a sphere, right? Like a balloon getting bigger and bigger. But like the balloon getting bigger and bigger, the amount of rubber that is actually in any one space is getting stretched out and stretched out. And the same with the power from those TV signals, right? So out at 100 light years or whatever it is, there's barely a couple of 100 watts of power at the moment, you know, like probably not even that. And then to get to a point where there's an alien out there, I mean, that's gonna be even weaker. Now you hope that they can detect that stuff, but if there's only so much you can do to draw signals out of noise, right? So who knows? Who knows? That's not how I expected it to go. This craft is a bit weird. I'm just going with my gut. So yeah, let's say let me look up something. I think this is the one I'm looking at. Okay, so you may have heard of something called carbon radio dating. It's a beautiful little process where life likes to take in a certain type of carbon, but that type of carbon's not very stable. So after a little while, it just goes, and part of the carbon changes into a well, not part of the carbon. Part of the carbon takes a proton and turns it into a neutron, and lets out an electron or something like that. Anyway, in that process, there is a bunch of maths that doesn't make sense. If you try and add up all the numbers and stuff, you expect the same numbers to be there at the beginning as there are at the end, or the other way, the same numbers at the end as there are at the beginning. But when they were first digging through all this stuff, when all the pioneers were busy getting cancer and teaching us the knowledges. I still can't control it. Why can I not control it? Ah! Yeah. Control from here. We might need to restart the game. Revert to VAB and then we'll quit. This is a thing. This is a thing. And anyway, so the main thing about these neutrinos was that they were neutral. That's the big name, right? They're neutral. And so when they got in our experiments, we couldn't detect them. Think about how anything affects anything else, right? So when you put your hand on a table, there's a bunch of electric and magnetic things being passed back and forth between your hand and the table that stops you going through. Right? That's essentially what's going on. The same stuff that stops magnets touching, or the same thing that gives you a bolt of jolt from the electricity is what stops your hand going through the table. Or the gravity of the Earth is pulling you down. That also affects you. There's also a bunch of nuclear stuff that could affect you. And the neutrino basically doesn't feel any of these, right? I've got protons and electrons whizzing around all my atoms, so I feel electric charges. I am heavy, so I feel gravity. I've got weak interactions and strong interactions happening in my body all the time. What was going wrong with this? We were going to reload the game, right? I'm gonna save and exit. You know what? I'm getting all the way out. We're going to get all the way out of here. But the neutrino does none of that. In the sun, according to our models, there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions of neutrinos made every second. The quoted number is, if you look at your thumbnail, like half centimeter by half centimeter square, something like that, right? There are a 10 trillion? Or maybe it's, who cares? It's a number with a lot of zeros, right? Of neutrinos go through your thumb from the sun every second. right? And think about how far away the sun is and how they're going in all the directions. So much like that TV signal, it gets weaker as it comes out to us, right? And there's still trillions upon trillions going through your body at any one time. And because there's no charge, it just whizzes straight through. It's a tiny thing. Atoms are tiny things, mostly empty space, right? So if you just randomly throw handfuls of tiny things at handfuls of tiny things, you're never going to hit, right? Like nothing hits. And that's the problem with neutrinos. But they are a different way, again, of looking at the universe, right? Yeah, we're talking about neutrinos, nerd of nerds. Well, welcome. They are another particle, right? So if you look at think of a picture of the Milky Way. Yeah, you picture it in your head. You've got like this band of stars, but almost more iconic are the dark bands of dust, right? If you type in Milky Way galaxy into Google, hopefully you would get a picture of that from the side, right? Let's see if we can control this. We've been having trouble controlling this spacecraft, by the way. And that's because there's a whole bunch of dust and stuff like that. Oh, we can turn. All right, great. That's because there's a whole bunch of dust and stuff like that in the way that blocks light, right? So, and one way we can see through those clouds is first we use a different type of light, right? Infrared goes through that stuff. That's kind of okay, but then we find other things that block. Is a neutrino absolute zero energy or just very low energy? Actually, some neutrinos have a lot of energy, but charge it's absolute zero. Have you talked about the ice South Pole? No, I'll get to the ice cube. Don't worry, we'll talk about ice cube in a bit. Where were we? What was I just about to say? So the dust, right? The dust. I realised what I've done wrong here. So we need to sort out our target. Let me focus. So light can be blocked by dust. Gravity waves can be affected by other gravitational objects. Neutrinos, though, sail through almost all that. That we do think neutrinos are affected by gravity, but they're so light and so fast that they barely get affected, right? And to detect them, we need to wait for a neutrino to randomly happen to hit another particle, right? So we just talked about how small things are and how it's very hard to get things to react. Set target, beautiful. The quote that I found today that I found absolutely amazing. I think it was Fermi put a bucket of water directly outside a nuclear reactor. You know. Had whatever detectors you have, scintillators I think they're called, that look out for light particles and stuff like that, next to it, and despite the fact that you've got trillions upon trillions of atoms inside a bucket of water, and right next to a nuclear reactor you've got trillions upon trillions of neutrinos coming out, they only really detected one or two interactions, right? So what you need is something super dense, super heavy. Are they the things that will change state once it has been observed? Not once it's been observed. That's a complicated topic that we're gonna kind of gloss over, Richard. We'll get into flavors at the end, but like, yeah. You're on the right line, but no, not exactly. Not exactly, and I will talk about that. So we want to see these things hit, but with as little complications as possible, right? So really, we want these things to hit hydrogen, because hydrogen is just one proton and one electron, right? Nice and easy. We can work out the maths for this stuff. As soon as you get up to helium, where you got a neutron and everything else being involved, it all gets like ridiculously complicated. So water, I mean, I'm sure you're all aware that water is 2/3 hydrogen. You know, the H2O, two hydrogen, one oxygen. So water's pretty good, you know. So down in Antarctica, underneath miles and miles of ice, the ice and snow, as it gets pressed and compressed and squashed down over millions upon millions of years, geological timescales, the ice under, I think it's like 2 kilometers of ice, takes on a different crystal structure. Ice 6? Ice 5? I don't know. If you know, let me know. But it's a good one. One of the important things is it's super dense. Oh, look at all that stuff up there. It's super dense. There's lots of stuff per square centimeter, and it's super clear. Light doesn't want to interact with it. It's all the wrong wavelength. The amount of energy needed to interact is all wrong, and so the light that we can see would just shine through that. And it's also very dark down there, so if anything does detect, the flash of light that would come off is easy to see. So down in Antarctica, we've got this block of ice, right? And we have drilled hundreds of sensors into it. I think it's hundreds of sensors into it. And we just sat and waited for 15 years. We've counted all the little bits of light that have happened. We've run mathematical models, more complicated than I either want to learn or want to get into. We've pointed computers at it, and we've been looking. And this is the cool thing. So neutrino, from the sun or from somewhere else, doesn't matter where, it comes screaming at Earth. Near enough the speed of light. It's not actually the speed of light, but it's so close that you might as well call it the speed of light. After billions of years of travel, it goes through the ice sheet in Antarctica, and one amongst the zillions, I don't know what the one after trillion is, but the one after the gabillions of neutrinos that are flying through happens to hit a water molecule, right? Bam! Dumps all its energy into that hydrogen. Some other stuff happens, muons are formed, and but mostly it all gets turned into light, because when two things hit together, it wants to make some light, And what actually happens is a whole bunch of particles get fired off faster than the speed of light in ice, and Cherenkov radiation, I can never say that word properly, the stuff that you get in the middle of nuclear reactors that makes them glow blue, where the particles are moving faster than the speed of light in water. We see the same stuff from neutrinos, say that right, neutrinos, and that's what we've been detecting under the ice. And what's the name of the crew? I've got a name here. Neutrino Galaxy map. And the people who've been watching, no, not nutrition. What do you got here? There we go. That's better. I'm afraid I cannot find the name of the crew. But it was the Ice Crew. It was Ice Cube, and then it was whatever the name of the people were that do that. The Ice Cube was the name of the instrument, and then there was a group of scientists that were. Oh, I hate it when I can't remember their names, because these people, like I say, pour their entire lives into this. I'm just here explaining the very top notes of what's been going on, right? Let's just turn this way. And so anyway, after 15-20 years of looking at all these flashes and doing their best to find out, you can imagine it hits the detector, there's a flash of radiation, and the light kind of smears out a little bit. It goes sideways because it comes in at speed and it wants to fire particles off in that direction, right? So they've been measuring the speed, the mass, mostly the direction that these neutrinos have been coming from, and they've been building a map of the galaxy. What they've actually been doing is looking at this real fuzzy, noisy, crazy set of lights that have been going off. There's been real noise, real problem. Look, I've gone up too far again. Why would I do this? Revert to VAB. No, don't revert to launch. Yeah, just watch it, and then applied some statistical models and gone, oh look, if you draw a line across the map here, you can see the galaxy because there's just a bit more noise going on there. Like, it's one of the things that people don't quite realize about science is a lot of the time it's, oh look, there's a bit more noise than we think there should be. Like, we've got this static hum, like, of stuff going. Oh, look at that! That was a good view. Static hum of stuff going on, just like. And if you listen more carefully here, there's a slightly louder hum, and that's what they've done for the neutrino map of the galaxy. Which, again, much like gravitational wave, is that good? Have they done well there? Like, if we have a look at the picture, can I put whoa. Can we find a picture? Can we find a picture of it? Images. No, I can't find it. It's such a terrible map. This one. Save image as. Sorry, give me one moment. I've got to just show you how bad this is. Oh, well, it's huge. Sorry. But this is what they've detected, right? And you can just about see there's more stuff. Where's my red square? Hello, red square. There's more stuff along this line than there is elsewhere, right? And that's really hard to detect. There's all sorts of ways that the machines have come through and like figured out what's going on. How do they know which direction neutrinos come from? By having lots of light detectors, and you see a flash of light here, then there, then there, then there, right? You can imagine the flash of light goes across the detector, and you draw the line back, right? How fast it goes across tells you how much energy was in it. How bright it is also tells you how much energy was in it. I've been trying to figure it out. So let's talk about flavors. We'll start with, there was a big experiment back in the 80s, 70s, I can't remember exactly. Just after we'd found out that neutrinos were a thing, people were like, okay, let's start counting the neutrinos. And we'd had an idea of how many we were supposed to find, because obviously we know nuclear fusion, right? We've been running the mathematics for nuclear fusion, and people are like, let's look at the star, let's look at the sun, and let's try and count the neutrinos. So we set up this big old tank of bleach. They used bleach this time instead of water, because chlorine's also really good for some reason. I can't tell you exactly why. I'm afraid I didn't know. And like again, billions of dollars poured into this experiment, and they went, oh, we can only detect about a third of the neutrinos that we expect. And everyone was like, that's a bit weird. So everyone scratched their heads for a bit. Hey Tom, how's it going, mate? My summer's going well. How's your summer going? We're talking about neutrinos. How are you feeling about neutrinos? I think they're cool. I think they're really cool. But yeah, we were looking at what come from the star, what come from the sun, and we were figuring, like, so obviously we knew the maths of fusion, as I was saying, and we roughly could predict, using statistics and stuff like that, how many neutrinos should hit the bucket of water or hit this big old vat of bleach. Revision of fields and flows. Resetting a couple, mate. Fields and flow was the worst. So, you know, we talk about how magnetic fields move, and you can also use the same language to talk about how liquids move. And so you can imagine there's like this layer of mathematics that works for all these situations. Fields and flow is that mathematics. I wanted to cry almost every day. As Tom says, it's tough. It's tough. Let's go and try and rendezvous with this spacecraft, shall we? Are we turning? Let's turn. Whoosh. And after these experiments, there was only about a third of the neutrinos found, and obviously, as you can imagine, that a third is a lot missing. Like, where would all the energy gone? Like, they're supposed to carry, I can't remember how much it is, but a lot of the sun's energy is actually carried away in neutrinos. It's a big number. It's a big number. And they had to try and figure out why. And one of the things that the theoretical model that they came up with in the end was to do with oscillating flavors. So you've got 3 different types of neutrino: electron, mu, and tau neutrino. That's just off the top of my head. I might be wrong there. Let me know. And these neutrinos oscillate through all 3. But of course, because physics is not easy, right? At no point is it just a mu electron, a tau electron, or a electron mu. Yeah. At no point is it one of those 3. At no point. It's a mixture of all of them. Of course, it's a superposition because quantum's weird, isn't it? And it's not until you actually go and look does it decide that it's one or the other. But if you kind of make what's called a weak measurement of the neutrino, you can find out like what proportion it is of one mass and another. And that's kind of one of the ways that they tell the different neutrinos apart. As far as I can tell, like I say, this is something that I've not done enough research into, and I really should. But yeah, so with two new ways of looking at the universe have been cracked wide open this month, and I'm all about it. I am all about it. But the level of mathematics you need to be able to understand a lot of this stuff. I mean, one of the things that makes quantum mechanics so difficult is the fact that the mathematics just works and nobody knows why. They've gone and got all this information and they've gone, great, we've got the information, we've got the maths, we can make it work. And everyone's like, cool, what do the numbers mean? They're like, I don't know, we can just pull it out of this weird phase space that we called Hilbert space. And you're like, what is Hilbert space? They're like, oh, it's just a mathematical construct, there's nothing to worry about. It's like, oh, I kind of do want to worry about it though. We're gonna miss. There ain't no way about this. We are missing. We are missing. Okay, I'm just gonna put us in orbit and we'll just make it work. I haven't got much fuel. Maybe like there. Yeah, we'll make that work. We'll make that work. Maneuver over that way. We did not do a single number in quantum. It's true. It was all like, the hardest bit was it's all just that's the problem. It wasn't random. It really wasn't random, but it felt like it at time. And the worst thing is when they're trying to teach you quantum, they use the same letter for lots of different things. The joke lecture was when we were like AA equals AA. And you're like, excuse me, what? And it's like, well, you know, the A energy eigenvalue of the A wave function is the same as the some position eigenvalue. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And then they're like, oh, go and answer a 3-hour exam on it. I think it was only a 2-hour exam, but still, it was. We're all scarred from it, as I'm sure you can imagine. Felix Flicker, though, what a magician of a teacher. our lecturer. If you search up Felix Flicker, you will find 2 Royal Institution lectures from him, and you will know instantly why we actually showed up every week. I did not buy his book. I should totally have bought his book. But no, I did engage with it. I did give him a nice review of his Royal Institution talk, though, during our poster. So we had to come up with interpretations for quantum mechanics, because, like I say, we fit this mathematics to quantum, and then people have come along afterwards and tried to make up why. You may have heard of the Copenhagen interpretation. And the many worlds and stuff like that. There are lots of different ways of interpreting the mathematics, right? So we all had to make a make we had to make a poster, and then oh my god, and then we had to make a little presentation, and these guys, absolutely, Tom and his crew, absolutely knocked out. Anyway, and during that process, I was like, hey, I saw you talk, thought it was good, you know, casual as you do, it's good times. You're all for Many Worlds. I mean, Many Worlds is probably it takes the least it takes the least things for granted, right? It just says, look at the maths, obviously, right? In the same way that, was it Dirac, when he was working through the maths of some of the early nuclear physics, found out there was a minus sign in places. You know, he took some square roots and went, oh, look, minus sign. Obviously antimatter. Like, who does that? Who doesn't go, well, this is wrong, let's forget that half? No, he was like, no, it must be antimatter. And Many Worlds is very similar, where it takes the mathematics seriously. I've run out of power, I've run out of fuel, I'm floating in the world. Are we going to be able to do this? I don't know. Well, I might even turn the cheats on. I'm not afraid to cheat in this game anymore. Copenhagen was just like, yeah, it works, don't worry about it. Like that's it. That is literally the whole of the Copenhagen interpretation. Don't shut up and calculate is what they say. Which, like, you have to respect it. You have to. I respect it from the same point of view that I think we don't have the right picture of quantum. You can tell by the way we're just fitting the maths, right? In the same way that I tout this out all the time, so tell me if you're bored. In the same way that Aristotle got the planets wrong because he was just basically doing a what's it called? Not a Lorentz transformation, a Laplace transformation. What's the name of the transformation? Fourier, because he was just doing basically a Fourier transform on the planets, and he came up with these things called epicycles, right? Where it's just circles on circles to try and make it look like the Earth is in the middle. I feel like we're doing something similar with quantum mechanics. We're putting circles upon circles to try and make it look like whatever it is right? And none of us is going to be able to guess what the thing is wrong until a new Einstein comes along and goes, no, we're looking at it in the wrong way. Think about it like this. And then suddenly someone will come up with a new mathematical framework and everything will make sense, right? But we're not there at the moment. We're just at the prodding the numbers and getting numbers back because we got a function that fits. The new Einstein could be me. I'm an old man now, Tom. I don't know. You though, you are on the cusp of greatness. You know. What am I doing here? I'm trying to dock with this craft. This is gonna take a while. Where's my other... Look, here's 2B. Where's 2A? 2B or not 2B? I mean, I personally could just, like, drift around like this and talk a little bit. Procrastinate long enough. Alright, yeah. Good luck with Fields and Flow, mate. I don't envy your reset at all, mate. I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, mate. I feel. Great to watch Steam, and I hope you're keeping yourself well. Yeah. I hope you like love to the whole house as well, man. Love to the house. Have good. Shush your youngster, you're the old getting them. How do you mind if I ask how old you are? Oh, we've had this conversation. You're actually like a few years older than me, aren't you? Alright, bye, Tom. Bye. It was really good to see you, man. It was really good. I always like it when some of my my physics peers show up. We have a little chat about stuff and then move on. It's great. Yeah, I'm 41 in February. So, you know, we're all good here. We went out camping at the weekend with a bunch of friends, and one of my mates realised he was the oldest. It must have been a painful endeavour for him. Wait, what are we doing here? I'm just gonna create a maneuver. I want to kind of like bring these down into coplanar. You're the youngest in the chat. Could be nerd of nerds. There will... Oh, excuse me. There will be surprisingly young people out there. Every now and then I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, I don't know, I'm 12. And I'm like, whoa, sorry, excuse me. Okay, fair. But, you know, like, that's the internet. That's the world we live in. And it really goes to show quite how much maturity isn't really tied to the number. All right. Now, I say this as an old person, and like we kind of get blind to these things. How do I go that way? Let's go. Whoosh. Whoa, what just went whooshing past? Did you see that? Did you see that? I sure saw that. We could undock this. Let's do that as well. 2, 1. Ooh, slow it down. Okay, 20 seconds for a 2-second burn. Until a 2-second burn. That should be fine. That should be fine. But yeah, I mean, like, it's one of... I know, I feel like it's one of the reasons why I get on as well at uni as I do. Because I'm really... I'm not mature. Yeah, there's that. But I tend to treat everyone like I would treat myself regardless of the circumstances I found them in, you know? At no point am I like, yeah, I've seen more, therefore you should respect me. Because just because I've seen more doesn't necessarily mean I know more. Now, chances are I have seen a situation similar to whatever one it is that we're in, and I've probably got some information that would be useful. But that's not necessarily the case. So I'm trying to find somewhere here where we can get like a better orbit going down. Create a maneuver. How do we pull these together? Not like that. Oh man. What's my periaps here? Predicted periaps 60. Nah, too low. Can't do it. Can't do it, my bro. We're gonna have to create... Are we gonna go up and down? Up and back? Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, it's expensive. There. How expensive? Well, this is okay. 330. Yeah, okay. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. I hope we can do this. And around we go. Really want to make your own space colony when you get older. Starship style would probably be the way to go. I mean, that's cool. My Dinobots are nearly as old as you. It's true. Oh man, Dinobots. That's cool. I mean, really, everyone should be looking to set up their own space company in the future, right? Like that's where if you don't want to just be, you know, work per hour pleb, one goal. You should be looking to push technologies and companies and services as far in the future as you can, right? Because that's really where the future has changed. I'll take this. I'll take this. This is fine. This is fine. And I'm hoping by being back at university, target, anti-target, I can ride the coattails of other people that are also doing such forth, right? Because I'm an old man now. Like I just said to Tom, you know, the chances of me being the next Einstein are quite slim. But the chances of me knowing the next Einstein, now that's a little bit easier. 47 kilometers away there. We're going to be 10 kilometers apart. Okay, that's fine. We can live with that. Yeah, the problem is we don't have the emerald money. It's true. Trading with zombies and then zombify for stonks. Yeah, fair. I mean, that is unethical, and I have to object on work labor grounds. Okay, I've not tried one of these dockings in this game, so let's see how it works out. Gonna Let's slow down as fast as we can relative to each other. That's not working. Wait, what about this one then? Huh? Anti-target? Let's try that. Yeah, that's much better. Alright. Oh no! Well, would you look at it? Somehow I got some extra fuel. Minecraft style, yeah. On the server that I run, I quite often go around to people's villager halls. I pressed the wrong button again as I did it. I can't believe it. I quite often go around to people's villager trading halls and put up like workers' rights signs and stuff like that. I'm sure they all find me hilarious. Okay, we just got to drift now. Like the lightning seeds, if you know who they are. 12 kilometers. Wow. I kind of think that villagers are a little too OP in my... I feel, yeah, like mending. Mending should never have been a villager trade, ever. Let alone one of the ones you can get straight away. The new smithing system definitely fixes the diamond problem. Like, I've been playing on the same map for 4 years, right? I'd not spent a diamond in most of those 4 years. Since the first couple of weeks when we made, like, jukeboxes and our first set of armor. From that point on, it was all, what can the villagers give us? Why can't I... Retrograde, thank you. So yeah, to give us a thing that eats the diamonds, that was good. Even though it's a lot of diamonds. So yeah, like going back to both the gravitational and neutrino detections. You know, it's really interesting to know where this technology is going to go from here, right? You know, at what point in, you know, what was Marconi when he was like blasting out a little bit of Morse code between ships, yeah? Did he ever think for a moment that we would find pulsars using radio telescopes? I really doubt he did, you know, I really doubt he even thought about it. So what else are we gonna find now? Yeah, what are we gonna find once the technology matures? Like, it's really hard to quite. It's hard to even get excited enough, even though I am ridiculously excited about it. Like. It's been a decade or more since Richard played Minecraft. You always like the thaumatological mod. Yeah, Thorncraft. Yeah. No, that was great. I was a big fan of Tinker's Constructs and that stuff. But of course, like, modding has moved on a lot in the past 10 years. You know, that era of the game has been and gone. Yeah, it'd be nice to see what else is going on. Maybe I'll try and dig out a decent mod pack at some point where we can all play together. It's been a while. It's been a while. Ideally, something with like one of those quest books. You know how there was this whole spate. Oh, it's how I met Landstrider actually. The whole spate of mods that gave you that quest book to follow, right? And I thought that was one of the best things. That. Can we slow down in time? We're now moving away. Stop moving away. Moving away too fast. Why are we moving away so fast? Okay, we should be drifting towards now. Maybe it's RCS time. Let's change Chase, Horizon. So maybe Chase was what I wanted actually. Chase. This control scheme, man. This control scheme. Which way? That's up and down. I pressed left and right. Why would no? All right. Turns out chase is not what I want. Horizon. I just want the old locked camera mode. Like, come on, man. Let's capture. Is this it? Is this what we want? RCS go. Okay, maybe. Go down and under. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now the real trick is going to be. Ooh, I'm not crashing into it. Look at it spin. What is this? What I want to figure out is how to target that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good start. Good start. Did it actually? Set as target. I'm going to swap. I'm going to press T. I'm just going to kind of stick it there. You're going to be chill now, my bro? You're going to be chill? I doubt it somehow. Turn that off. Retrograde target, and then we'll slow ourselves down. We should hopefully be pointed in roughly the right direction like this. Okay, turns out docking not got any easier in Kerbal 2. I'd like to zoom in more if I could. No, all right, maybe that functionality is now dead in the game. Right, thanks very much. Just what I want. Okay, we're gonna try and drift around to make this just a little circle in our field of view. Well, I think I'm gonna have to come up with designs that are almost solidly monopropellant. You know, like look at this. Use the monoprop here. Looks like Private Division need to implement something called a PID. Can't remember what PID stands for, but it was a protocol that NASA developed to stop what's known as hunting behavior, where so you know when you've got like a thermostat, it will get too hot, then too cold, too hot, too cold, too hot, too cold. It'll go back and forth. That's called hunting. And obviously in flight control, that's pretty bad. You don't want your nose to be going up and down, up and down, up and down all over the place. You want it to just slowly approach and then go and then match up, right? I ideally would like that for my RCS as well. It doesn't look like that's all that easy. Neil Armstrong docking with Agena. It was Neil Armstrong. It was Gemini that lost. Oh yeah. It was definitely Gemini. I don't think it was Neil that lost control, but it could have been. I definitely do remember. Gus Grissom? No, he died. Who was the name of the guy? I went to the Science Museum a little while ago. I'm talking like 2-3 years ago, maybe even 4 or 5 years ago now. And there was an actor playing someone. Hey, we did it! Hey, flight in progress. We managed to dock. Can I zoom? Can we do stuff, please? T there. Tracking station. We're gonna go in and out. And they were talking about when they lost control around the back of the moon, and the colourful language that came out at that point. It really left an impression with me. Right, so we've managed to dock, which I've got to be honest is beyond what we've managed to do in the game of the past. So yeah, maybe the game is starting to get a little bit more stable. But I think with that, I have run out of time for this little adventure, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys next time Well, I don't know. I'm open to mission ideas. I want to get back into Kerbal now that it's getting a little bit more stable, but I feel like I've been tainted, and I need to wash the taint away. So if we can come up with some decent mission ideas, I would really appreciate if people could help with that. But I will see you guys next time when we're gonna do all of that. Bye.